Hello, hello, everybody. We are back for another watch along of Beyond the Gates as I'm trying to get ready here. Shout out to Company Confidential and Aaliyah Hunter already in the chat. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me. I do have my alcohol today to get me through this episode. Thank God it's Thursday. And I feel like judging by the preview, we're going to have some flashbacks today. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but we'll find out. As usual, I will say that my stream on Paramount Plus is usually a minute behind anybody watching on CBS, and I will be typing notes. Yes, Aaliyah, I am trying to get turned up for real. Although the last two times I did this, the alcohol didn't help much. Hello, Z Hicks. Welcome back. Hello, Miss Blue. Welcome back. If only it was time for this crossover event, but not yet. All right, mine is beginning with a sad looking Danny looking at a picture of her and Bill. Andre back from yet another trip. Miss Blue says Victor got his company back just in time for the crossover. I haven't been watching on the rest of this. It doesn't sound like it's going to sync up exactly well because Josh Griffith's a fucking idiot. Here's Bill's only friend, Caroline. Hello, Franco. Welcome back. And at least Caroline does be calling Bill out sometimes. Z Hicks says Bill always dresses nice. He does. Wanda Dixon says the poison is just not working. It's a very, very slow poison, just like Randy wants, Wanda. Franco says she's been poisoning that man for over 6 months now. True. Miss Blue says Vernon must be powerful because he knows Victor well. He's a old senator with some money. Hello, Kaiwan. Welcome back. Seems like it's going to be a very special Danny and Bill episode today. Not with your slow ass poison, Haley. I don't know. Haley's putting a lot of faith in that slow poison. Kaiwan says, I mean, Victor is supposed to be the most powerful man in the universe. Isn't he ever since 1980 when they made his character super rich, 1982, something like that? Yeah, I feel like Victor became super sometime in like the late 2000s. Aaliyah says, Haley has been meeting Randy too often, but nobody ever catches on to them. Even Bill had suspicions at one point, but I feel like that's been dropped. Surprise, surprise. Franco says, how much longer do you think the poison storyline will be? You know, September. I have no idea. With how slow they've been moving, we got some months left. Miss Blue says something is definitely wrong with the bottle of poison. It is not effective. It could be Randy just giving her fake stuff. Maybe Bill has tremors because of his old stroke or because he's stressed. I don't know. I could I could see that from Randy. I mean, it is still hard to believe that Randy could kill Lynette even when he failed with Kenny. Miss Blue is Young and the Restless worth watching this week. I was considering watching this week just because the crossover is next week, or at least fast forwarding through most of the episodes. Taiwan, my Young and the Restless knowledge ends sometime in the early 2010s. Okay, when you're saying Young and the Restless stinks now, I'm not surprised. Anytime I try and watch it, Josh Griffith's writing is just horrid. One thing about Danny, she's gonna talk about Bill. Judging by next week's preview, it might not look so hot for Andre with Danny. Yes, Kaiwan, the show was good at the in the early days last year. I do miss the kind of out of control Danny. Because your ass got played, Bill, like a fiddle. He's so stupid. Aaliyah says the connection Bill can explain is called being a mark. Yes, true. Z Hicks says reminiscing days of old. Hello, exotic butterfly. Welcome back. Have you gotten those butterfly earrings yet? Aaliyah, I made myself a nice little sour strawberry vodka drink. It's good though. Kaiwan says, we never get to an exact flashback of how Haley seduced Bill. Exactly. I think maybe we might get something like that today, hopefully, if we're going to have all these flashbacks. Yes, Franco, it is turned up Thursday, where sometimes I get to drink if I don't have anything else to do. So here we are, sipping to get me through this episode. At least the only truly boring character on today is Naomi. I mean, Danny and Andre are boring these days, but nonetheless. Franco asks, who are the top 3 most boring characters on the show? I mean, Naomi's up there for me. I think I have to give more than 3. Naomi, Jacob, Ashley, Tomas, Grayson. Those are the most boring 5 people. Although having to listen to Vanessa and Joey repeat themselves is also a possibility. Aaliyah's got a joint. Okay, okay. Thank you for at least joining me in some way. Here's some flashbacks we haven't seen. Oh, yeah, I forgot that Haley wanted Joey to be the mark first. It would have been hard for her to do Joey because Joey's into wretched middle-aged white women. Cassie says Chelsea, Naomi, and Tomas are the most boring. Good choices. That wasn't the whole cast, Franco. There's a big cast. That was like maybe a fifth of the cast. Aaliyah says the top 3 boring characters are Joey, Ashley, and Vanessa. Randy thought Bill was sharper than her other marks. They must have been even dumber than Bill somehow. Franco says pretty much the whole cast is boring. I like Bill, but that's about it. They made him dumb now, though. They did make him dumb. And they're stretching the story too long, which it's gotten boring again. Kaiwan, you want Haley to be with Isaiah? They were teasing that the first couple months he was on. I don't know how someone could make friends with boring Naomi this easily. Franco says, "What can they do with Haley once the Poison storyline is done? I think the writers are having trouble with how to move forward, so they're not progressing that storyline." I agree. They have been thinking of a way out for a very long time now, and I don't know if they know what to do. I mean, Bill's not going to die, so Leah says, "Well, you can't start a story like that and not know what to do next." I think that's what happened. I think Guzzo was still writing with Michelle Valjean when they decided on that story twist, but I don't know if he helped her come up with an end game, or maybe they didn't like the end game and now they're trying to change it. Hello, ATC, welcome back. This is Flashback Thursday. It seems that way, yes. I mean, I don't totally hate the flashbacks, fleshing out what actually happened with Bill, if we will actually see the beginning of their affair. Kathy says when Kat starts her podcast, Haley will end up leaving town. I feel like they're not going to want to get rid of Haley, though, which is why they don't know a way out. ATC says, I read somewhere that Timon may be leaving. Is that Bill? That is Bill, but that's been a rumor for like 8 months. So I don't think it's true. Franco says they're having Bill and Haley flashbacks. That seems kind of interesting. Well, so far it's been Haley and Randy flashbacks when they conceived the plot, and then the Haley and Naomi flashbacks when they became friends. So I'm hoping we'll get to see the flashback of Bill and Haley starting their affair at least. Okay, well, I think Timon's a really good actor. I'm glad he has this job. ATC says, but some of these flashbacks they showed us already. I think the only flashback they showed us before was that one with Haley, Naomi, and Danny. Aaliyah says, I'm hoping all these flashbacks are leading to her plan being discovered. Hopefully. Hopefully. Bobby Wobby welcome says, I wish the writers should show flashbacks of Andre with a couple of his past intimate encounters before he came back to town. They're too late doing that. They should have done that back in the day so that he could actually have been a player. Hello, DGF. Welcome back. ATC, they've never had that Haley and Randy flashback before. That was new. Hello, Deanne Harris, who says I saw online Haley is going to hook up with Kyle Jackson on Young and the Restless. They're definitely gonna at least kiss next week. Or maybe kiss. Bobby says they could at least show Haley conning her former victims. Dang, true. True. And we could have Lynette in the flashback. I don't know, Kaiwan. They weren't together last time I was watching more regularly. Naomi must not have had Ashley around back then if Haley was able to become her friend. I mean, not that I want to see her, but I do wonder where Ashley was in this storyline because, like, Naomi acts like she has to be chained to Ashley's side these days. Franco says, this might be the first episode that I watch in a couple of weeks. I'm just going to skip to the flashbacks. Yeah, you might as well. It's the only thing happening in this episode is the flashbacks. I mean, it sounds like Danny knew more about Haley's fake past than Bill. Here we go. Haley flirting with Bill. Oh, it's Danny's bad idea to hire Haley. Yeah, Bobby, that's crazy. Talk about bad choices. Well, it does sound like Danny was was easy. I mean, they all were though. Aaliyah says, "I'm sure Danny regrets that shit." She should. Aaliyah's getting sleepy. The blunt must be hitting, or it's just the episode hitting. I don't know. Cassie says, "So they want to show us how stupid everyone is. This was way too easy for Haley." It was pretty easy. See, Hicks says Haley's plan was perfectly executed. She really just needed Bill to be a horny one. Bobby says, "Have Danny told Andre she kissed Bill 1 or 2 times?" At this point, I don't even remember. I don't remember Danny ever telling Andre. Hello, Barbara Gregg. I don't know what you typed. ATC says Danny only told Andre they kissed 1 time. It was actually 3 times. Okay. That's how much they've stretched out that part of the story because I don't even remember at this point. Bobby says, "Nice move when Haley acted like she touched Bill's hand by mistake. That was smooth of Haley." ATC says Andre is a wimp. If she falls in bed after this, he will be okay with it. The way they've been writing that, writing Andre as like a simp, I could unfortunately see that happening. Kaiwan, that's who that kid was. He did look familiar in that commercial. What's up, Devin? How's work today? Barbara Gregg says, "Oh, you keep deleting it." I don't know what you're saying, Barbara. ATC says Andre will blame it all on Bill. Bill pushed her to fall in his arms. Probably. Bobby says, "I give Beyond the Gates half credit for showing something in the past." I guess, for a show that likes everything to happen off screen, at least they're showing us what actually happened here. Barbara Gregg, are you drinking like me? All these deleted messages? Kind of when you talking about the Knicks, I don't really watch basketball like that. ATC says, "Let's see when Bill and Haley got closer." That is what I want to see from these flashbacks. Hello, Alton Davis, who says, "I wonder, well, during the flashbacks, there will be a character that was suspicious of Haley. Doesn't look like." Sorry to hear that, Devin. Barbara Gregg says, "Empty Thursday filler. Where are Lynette, Peaches, and June? Why look back? Move forward." It is a. I mean, I'm enjoying the flashbacks, but it is a filler episode, and I would like to see more Lynette and June. Peaches, I mean, Haley wasn't even dressed like super hot or anything. She was dressed like tacky per usual. Yeah, Bobby, that's the one good thing Frank Valentini can do is have a good budget, apparently. Yes, Devin, it is a throwback Thursday episode to the beginning of Haley's Con and the beginning of Haley and Bill's affair. I agree, Aaliyah. Maybe in the 80s. I mean, honestly, guys can be so easy. Bill just falling for being hyped up from a younger girl in a tacky leather dress. She did, Barbara. You can just see any intelligence draining out of Bill's body with this affair. Alan Davis, I never watched The Have and the Have Not, so I'm rooting for Leslie. Oh wow, Chelsea walked in. Well, at least Danny blamed who she should have blamed at first, Bill's trifling ass. Aaliyah says, "Oh wow, he's disrespectful as hell. Sex in Danny's bedroom. Yeah, he is disrespectful. That is the Bill I knew at the beginning of this show." Kaiwan says the Haley Lawson special. They did it in the house. They did. Bobby says Veronica Hamilton, hands down. I don't know. Devin says, "Dude, did you see Don Callis' teeth fall out during the promos?" I did. That was pretty embarrassing for him. Bobby Wobby says, "So Chelsea discovered them. Yeah, yikes." ATC says, "Okay, so they got busted in the family home." Yes. Aaliyah says, "I would have whooped somebody's ass." I'm surprised Chelsea didn't go after Haley. Aaliyah says, "I need to see the rest of that flashback." I mean, yeah, I feel like Chelsea should have been more upset. Danny, too. Barbara says, "When Bill, Ted, or Joey unzip their pants, their brains fall out." It does seem that way. Cassie says, I would never be cordial with Haley after this. And Danny's not. Bobby says, I need flashbacks of Joey terrorizing people before Doug. I'm good without those flashbacks. I'm sure Grandpa Gangster was just doing the same old thing, getting information and never using it. See, this is Scumbag Bill. I think he should still be Scumbag Bill. Yazzie Hicks. Bill sounds crazy. I mean, these flashbacks are good for anyone who feels sorry for Bill that he's being poisoned, to be honest. They had every right to hate Bill. Andre, this is going to be you soon, so he should listen closely to how it's going to feel when Danny is a hoe again with Bill. Barbara says Haley is a Black Widow spider. She certainly tries to be. Barbara says Bill is caught in Haley's web. He caught all right. Kaiwan says Andre get cheated on this Friday. You think he's gonna get cheated on tomorrow? He might get cheated on next week. ETC says, well, okay, I suspect Andre will go to Bill's office, but what's Andre gonna do? Tell him to stay away from his wife again, which hasn't worked. Devin says Andre can't say that, then Denny would get mad at him for being jealous. I guess that's true. ATC says that's just what Andre does. He will say, get away from my wife, probably. DGF says I didn't even turn my TV on today. I mean, no story is actually moving forward today, but I have enjoyed most of the flashbacks. ATC says this episode explains the present, which is good. Yeah, it was kind of a necessary episode. I hope it's an episode that like re-jump starts the storyline. ATC says, why hasn't Bill passed out yet? He did that one time. Devin, I think Ashley's going to be on tomorrow, so yay for us. Barbara Gregg says, if Danny goes back to Bill, will Andre run to Ashley? With our luck, probably. Z Hicks says Bill is immune to poison. Maybe he's an X-Men too, like Grayson. Bobby Wobby says yes, because the show started with them already divorced and Bill marrying Haley. Yeah. So it is good to see this. Devin says the actress that plays Ashley, Jen Jacobs, posted a few messages. She's been getting harassed online by people saying she has a huge nose. Well, that sucks for her. As someone with a huge nose, I feel her pain. Franco says Grayson is immune to stab wounds. Exactly, an X-Men just like Bill. Yeah, Franco, I agree. Her nose isn't even huge. Well, that was today's episode. Aaliyah's ready to try again tomorrow. You're going to be smoking a joint again tomorrow, Aaliyah? Unfortunately, I won't be drinking tomorrow, so I'll have to get through tomorrow's episode without any alcohol. Sad times. All right, I must go. I will see everyone again tomorrow. I'll be back with my review later tonight. I think I don't know. I don't want to put the cart before the host, but I think tomorrow the horse. I mean, I think tomorrow can maybe be a good episode if it's actually going to start the crossover. But everybody's saying the crossover doesn't actually start till next week, so we'll see how it goes. Thank you all for joining me in today's flashback special. I will see everyone again next time.